constraint. So what is a precedence constraint means? Before going to that, I'll show you. So let's say I got the package. So in the package you have seen multiple tasks, right? So each task is connected with a line. Okay. So now you might have observed when this is the first, let's say this is the first one, second one, third one. Let's say now currently everything, the line between each task is green. Okay. So what happens here when it is green means, I'll show you by default when we connect it will be a green only by default. Means let's say the first task is successfully, when I go to the second step it failed. Then what I want the third step is that even though the second step is failed, I don't want the third step to again, I want to execute the third step also. I don't want the output of the second step. Okay. So even though now what happens if the second step is failed, it will not go to the third step. So we want to execute the third step also. How to execute that all things we will be seeing. Okay, because previously I have created a checkpoint. I have used this package for creating a checkpoint, right? So I am disabling this. Yeah, I'll disable means it will not do anything. We are good. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll go to the second step. Let's say I'll insert some bad data, B. I'll insert some B value. So it is a bad data, right? So the package will fail. My second step will fail now. So when I execute this, so my second step failed, but it is stopping. It is not allowing me to execute the third step because the middle line, the green line is nothing but it is a process flow. Okay, arrow means the same way, you know, right? Connection between. So first it will execute, and after this the arrow is pointing to the second step. So the second step will execute. Then after that the arrow is pointing to the third step. Then third step will execute. Okay, but here since the second step has an error there, because of that when the second step has an error, it is not allowing me to go to the third step. But my scenario is that even though the second step gets failed or for success, I don't worry. I need to execute the third step. Then what I need to do is that click on this green line. Now you can see evaluation operator constraint. You can see the value as success. Whenever the success means when this step 2 is success, then only it will go to the third step. But now here I'll just give the completion. Completion means, see, when I give a completion it was black. So there are two types. One is a success, failure and completion. What is a completion means? It will not worry. Even though after execution of the second step, it will go to the third step. It will not see the output of the second step, whether it got successfully executed or whether it failed. It will not at all worry. It will just go to the third step. That is a completion. Now if I execute, now it will go to the second. See, oh, yeah, it should execute the third step. Oh, give me a minute. Yeah, I know it because when we created the package transform, like previously we have created the checkpoints, right? So we are given fail package and failure to true. So that's the reason it is not executing. So we have created the checkpoints, right? In the previous video, there we had made it up for all the tasks. We converted it true. By default, it will be the false. So let it be. Let it be the false one by default one. Okay. So now if I run, then you will be getting that. See. Okay. So now even though my second step failed, it is not worrying anything about it is not worrying. Directly it is executing the third step because I have given as a completion. Okay. Now let's see. I'll give this file, instead of completion I'll give failure. Means I'll give this as a failure. At the same time I'll copy this. I'll have one more thing as a success. This is a one more as success. Okay, I can connect from one task, I can connect a number of tasks. So what happens? First this will execute, next this will execute. Okay. Then since I have given the failure means if this task is failed, then this task will execute. If the task is success, then this task will execute. Now see. Now if I connect it, since the second task step will be failed, right? So now it will execute this one. Let's assume, let's give some values here, correct values, and see now which task will execute. Okay, since it will be success, so it will execute the step 3 one, this one. See, are you able to get my point? Okay, so like we are having a couple of scenarios. So basically why we do is that if there is any task failure, then we'll add one more thing called this is other task. So we'll add one more called send mail task. Okay, normally what it does is that when I use a send mail task, what the system does is that I'll just give, I'm going to connect it. By default you will be having the green one only, then after that you need to click and do the failure. So now I'll click the failure. Okay, see now, see what does the send mail task does is that now you can, the same way here you can set up the SMTP email server and everything, so that whenever the package fails this will execute, and since you will set up some email, automatically a message will be sent to that email stating that this package has been failed. Okay, now you can see when I click the mail, now you will give the SMTP connection. Since I don't have one, so that's why it will not show anything. So you are going to create SMTP connection. You are going to give from to whom you are going to copy. You can keep copy. If you want to do the attachment, you can do the attachments like error message and everything. Okay, like that. If you want to have the message source, you can have whatever thing you want, you can write it here. Same as the email. So automatically whenever this fail, it will get this send mail task will execute, and at the same time whatever the properties you had given, it will email to them. Okay, so that's the reason we'll use that failure one. Are you able to get my point? So now let's see, there's one scenario now. I'm having two tasks here. Okay, so I'll click on the task one. So I'll just remove this insert. I'll just write a wait delay for. Wait delay for means it will wait for the package for 5 seconds, right? So I'll give 0 0 0 0, and I'm waiting this one for 5 seconds. Oh, wait for delay. Okay, thanks. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just copy this and I'll paste it here. I'm asking this one to wait for 5 seconds. Now I'll ask this one to wait for 10 seconds, not the 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. So now if I run this package, so see, first one will execute, but see, and it will wait for this both way, it will wait for this one also, then only this will execute. After completion of the above two tasks, because this step 2 is having the input from the two things, right? So step 2 will only execute when both the input steps gets completed. After that only the step 2 will execute. If I run it again, you can observe it. Though it will execute in 5 seconds, it will execute in 10 seconds. But this step 2 will not execute after the execution of this. It will wait until both the steps get complete, then only the step 2 will execute here. See, okay, that is by default. But not what my scenario is that I don't want to wait for both the things. I want to do such a way that when any of the step 1 or this I'll make because it is like confusing, right? I'll give the step 3 here, step 3. So what I want is that the step 2 should not wait for both of them, step 1 and step 3, to complete. It should execute if any one of the step 1 or step 3 is completed, then automatically the step should start executing. It should not wait for both of them to complete. Okay, so in that case click on the red line. So we have seen this success, right? We are good. So at the bottom you can see logical or and or. When you give all and, when you give and, by default all the inputs should get executed. After that only the next level will execute. If I give or, see now it is in this line, right? Straight line. When I give or and OK, now it will become a dot. Now if I execute, it will not wait for. Or means if any of the step gets executed, automatically the next level will execute. It will not wait for all the steps to execute. See, it is not waiting for the step 3 to execute, right? Hello? This is a OR condition. So now what are the things we have seen in the precedence constraint? So we have seen logical and logical OR. We have seen the success, failure and completion. At the top you can see, now we'll go and see constraint, expression and constraint, expression or constraint. So what is the constraint means? You will be having success means whether the above one is success, failure or completion. What is the expression means? See, now this is disabled. You can give your own expressions. Let's say if this is a value, then don't allow this task to execute. If this is a value, then don't allow this task to execute. That is nothing but the expression. When you click the expression and constraint, now it will show you the constraint like success, failure and completion. It will also give the expression. So when expression and constraint means both the expression should be correct. At the same time, it should be the whatever the constraint you give, both should be same. Then only it will occur. There will be expression or constraint. So if any of expression or constraint means if any of them, any of the one is correct, then it will execute. Okay. So now we are going to see one thing. So what I am going to do is that I'll give AND only. Now I'll connect this as a okay. So after the step 1, I'll connect the step 2 and step 3. Okay. So now what I'll do, SSIS in the variables, I'll add one variable here. Oh, why it's not allowing me to add a variable? Yeah. So I'll add the variable called some flag. Okay. Flag is an integer. So by default I am having a value as 0. Let it be 0. Okay. Now what I will do, click on the expressions. Now here constraint, click on the expression. Now give. So if I want to write some expression, so I can write it in two ways. Just click the side button here. Go. What is the value I am having here? Flag, right? Drag and drop the flag. And you can give if the flag is equal to 0. Evaluate expression true. Automatically it is becoming true. So then this line will execute. Now see automatically you can see one fx symbol here. See, when you write an expression you can see fx. Now when I click this, I'll click it as an expression. Now I click on this. Now I can see if flag is equal to 1. Then I want this to execute. Okay. So because if I give logical AND, right? Okay, yeah, it is not a big thing. So now what happens if the value is 0? See, because why? See, when I click here, when I evaluate expression, why it is showing false? Because the user flag has a value 0, right? So 0 equal to 1. It is comparing and it's saying false. That's the thing. Don't worry about that. Okay. So now see when I run, what is the value I am having in the variable? It is a 0. You can see here the variable value in the flag, it has 0 value. So if it is 0, then I want to execute this one. If it is 1, then I want to execute this one. So okay, since it is 0, then this step 3 should execute, right? See here, since the value is 0, then step 3 will execute. Oh, I have given here to wait for 5 seconds, so that's the reason it is waiting. See. Okay, step 3 is executing. I'll change the delay seconds to 1 second or something. Are you able to get my point? So now what I'll do, I'll go to the variables. Now I'll change the value to 1. When I give the value to 1, this step should execute. Now see the same thing. See. Okay. And one more important thing you need to remember is that this one expression, when I click here, you got this to check, right? It is only available in 2012. Prior to version, you need to manually write this variable names and this values. You need to manually give them. You don't know which variable, right? You need to manually write this one. There will be nothing for you to get it by clicking on this. There will be no option like this way. So what I did, I just click here, go here, drag and drop, so that I'll get the exact name and everything, right? But it was there, it is there only in the 2012. Prior to 2012 version, you will not be getting this kind of things. Okay. So now I have given the expression. Okay, I am good. So what I'll be doing? Okay, I have given the expression, right? Okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll give expression and constraint. So expression will be 1, but I want to do this only when it is 1 and the above task is failure, then only it is 1 and the task has been failed. The above step should be failed. Then only the below step should execute. Are you able to get my point? So now what I will do, if I run this now, it will not execute. The step 2 will not execute because, see, what is the condition here? Because here, since we are given the flag as 1, right? So this is 0, so it will not execute. But when we click here, the flag is 1, but it should execute, right? But it will not execute because we are given expression and constraint. So whether it should be failure and then it should have the flag also. Then only both the conditions should satisfy. Then only it will execute. So what I will do, in order to fail that, I'll give 2 codes. Wrong data. So automatically now it will fail. Then this step 2 will execute now. See. Are you able to get my point? So now again I'll correct it. I'll correct the code. Okay. Now I'll run this. Now see, this step will not execute, right? But now if I give OR instead of the expression and constraint, and I'll give OR, then automatically it will check any of one of the condition. If any one of the condition is successful, then it will execute. See, what is the one of the condition? Failure. No, it didn't fail. It is successful condition. So that is it is not done. What is other condition? Other condition, we are having a flag as equal to 1. So that condition is satisfied. Then it will execute this one when we give OR. Are you able to get my point? Hello? So it is a standard, right? Normally, and do you all know and OR? So if we give 1 OR, like this is for OR. Okay, we got 1 1, 1 0 0 1, 0 0. So what will be my output when I do OR? Both 0 or 0, 1 or 1, 0, 1 or 0, 0 or 1. So what will be my output? Since both are 0, it is 0. Both are 1, it is 1. So in this both, 1 is having one value, right? The output will be 1. Here also the output will be 1. Okay. Let's say 1 is true and 0 is false, like that. When you take AND, so you will be having 0 0, 0 and 1 and 1, 1 and 0, 0 and 1. So what will be the output? 0, 1, and means both should be true, then only it will be the true. If so, here both are not true, then it is false. Both are not true, then it is false. Are you able to get my point? So it will be 0 0. Okay. Hello. Okay then, yeah.